having a little bit of a struggle today with the markets. We'll jump into that. Let me just quickly check into our live stream over on X. Make sure everyone can hear us. Okay.
We'll jump into that. Let me just quickly.
Yeah, it looks like it's working over there. Let me put a quick GM in the chat. Okay, get things rolling. But yeah, bombs are flying again. Markets in shambles. Having a great day yesterday. Having a blast. Crazily bull posting. Our TBB token had some everything rocking and rolling, and then then had some problems. Ceasefire appears to be over. We'll jump into that, but first let's just look at the markets looking to open up badly in the red, unfortunately. So let's see. The NASDAQ down 3.9%. So it didn't open as bad as I thought it was indicating. Dow down 0.89, S&P down 0.55. Crude oil 73.83. So literally up 4.81%. And that's really, as we've kind of learned, that's really more what we do is kind of keep an eye on what's actually happening. You know what I mean? Like with the looking at the Bitcoin price, looking at the market pricing, and then looking at oil. That obviously shows there's some real concerns there. Yeah, Scott, crazy market today. Definitely put a stop to all the fun we were having with our Bitcoin bull. We got up to 7.7 million. Quick look at that. Now it's at 3.7. So, yeah, I mean, still up. Well, about a little below where we started yesterday, but a crazy run, and that's what happens, right? When the markets crash, the most risky or the newest assets, people are taking profits where they can and panicking, right? And we held it off for a little while, but overall everything down. Ansem, which is kind of the control token, that started all down 274. It got up to almost a high of like 457 million, almost $500 million. It's down, almost 30%. So everything kind of in shambles in that regard. Bitcoin itself, 62,019, down 1.7%. So we're a little off the lows. That's, I guess, good news, if anything. Ethereum, 1739, down 1.8%. XRP, $1.08, down 3.4%. And Solana taking the biggest hit, though it has been the highest flyer, 77.23, down 4.6%. So that's the market we're dealing with today. And yeah, don't know if we're going to pop out of it. Of course, you never know. We've seen these war things. I mean, Trump could literally come out and, while we're on this show this morning, and say, "Oh yeah, we're getting along good. We're back in business with the MOU, and we could pop right back." But this time seemed different. So Trump was in Turkey at the NATO summit, right? And yesterday I saw him talking to Erdogan, who's the Turkish president. I think he met with Zelensky. Anyway, and then so I believe they'd kind of backed off on Iran. They're having their funeral celebrations or whatever it was for the Ayatollah, the old Ayatollah who got taken out first day of things, and then I guess they started launching missiles at some boats, some tankers, and stuff, which is that really messes things up, because then all of a sudden no one wants to go through. Insurance companies don't want to insure them. You start having some real problems, right? So Trump clearly irked, especially when he's there on a world stage. He came out and he said they're a bunch of scum. These are evil, sick people. We have to rid of their cancer. They got to cut cancer out early. I told them every time we hit their dirty players, kill thousands of their soldiers, kill hundreds of thousands of innocent people. So he was clearly irked about it and not happy. So this is what's caused the problem with the markets. And there was, I was watching some of my sources yesterday. Yeah, there was some serious bombing going on. And then he said officially, the MOU is off, right? Ceasefire with Iran is over. President Trump has pulled the plug, made it crystal clear. America's done playing games. The Iranian regime, they're scum led by sick people. No more negotiations, no more tolerance for their aggression. So, yeah, he was very, you could tell, especially there, he's on a world stage, with the NATO leaders talking. I mean, some of those, look, Turkey, Pakistan, some of those countries are much more friendly with Iran than the other countries, right? And I think he just, I don't know. He was not pleased. So this is where we are, right? This is where we are, and we have to let this settle off. Now, we've said there's been almost no talk of war, and it's been a good thing. We've just been keeping an eye on that oil price, and that was down to, $68, even 67 and some change. So now we're way up there. So we know that it's clearly having an effect. And not good at all. So yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see where this pans out. And I don't know what Spain did, but Trump at the same meeting came out hard against Spain. Spain is a wasted cause. We don't want to do any trade business with Spain anymore. By the way, Spain is a terrible partner in NATO. They don't participate. They don't pay. I don't want anything to do with Spain. So I'm not sure. And I know that when the war first started, they wouldn't let U.S. do any missions out of their air bases there, or even fly over their airspace. I can't remember what it was. I don't know what kicked him off yesterday at this NATO, but he was very unhappy, very, very unhappy with Spain for some reason. So anyway, this is the state of the market. Now, one other thing, and I see here, before I mention that, B&B chain, they're building a new L1 with sub 50 millisecond transactions, 100,000 TPS. So it'll be much closer to what some of these other faster chains like Hyperliquid and, of course, Solana are doing. So don't fade B&B. Keep an eye on them. But this, I see in the chat there, the next topic that I think hurt us a little bit, and Quantum 5652 said GM should have rotated my Ansem into Crash Cat on Robinhood chain, which exploded overnight, now at 108 million. So we did report Robinhood making this chain. They're designing it to be more of a centralized chain, right? Robinhood, of course, an app that's huge, publicly traded. And Vlad, their CEO, said it's the best change for RA, but it works good for memes too. And then, some memes over there started hitting, especially this Crash Cat over 100. And it looks like, I haven't looked at it, but it looks like it's, according to Quantum 5652 here, it's over 108. So I think that was part of it too. Some people are calling it a vamp attack. We'll see. I think short term, you definitely see that people be over there and very low liquidity from what I hear on most of these. Be careful over there because there's only going to be, I think there's very limited people over there. But that makes it more impressive how this Crash Cat went up to 108 million. But yeah, let's check into Ansem, because Ansem over here was kind of pumping Solana and the kind of bringing life back to the trenches. Got over to 457. Now it's 200, almost 277.7 million. And of course, our we talked about it yesterday. Our Bitcoin bull, Jason Williams, AI Williams coin, took a big hit as well. Like I say, got all the way to 7.7. But we'll see. Still early. But what Jason's doing is he owns 70% in the dev wallet. If you look at the holdings here, I'm on Deck Screener. He owns that 69 point. It was a 70% wallet. He's airdropped 0.6% to people already. And he's just giving that money away, doing airdrops, doing contests. Right now it's sitting at 2.5 million he has to give away. Yesterday it was over 5, right? It was over 5 million. So, hopefully that'll come back. Yeah, it was nice. We were going crazy, bull posting like idiots. Probably getting obnoxious on the timeline, having a lot of fun though. And but anyway, still he has $2.5 million giveaway. Hopefully, we kind of stabilizes here all the way down from went I think 7.776 million. So basically cut in half, a little more than cut in half, but it's funny because I was shaving a little here and there to buy back in, and it just kept going up. So I finally kind of bought the dip, and then the dip got a lot worse. But I do have some little bit of soul set aside. I may have to buy this dip. I wanted to look at how the greater market happened, because this has nothing to do with the Bitcoin bull and everything to do with these outside factors, mainly the war and maybe this what's the excitement over there in Robinhood chain. But overall, that'll be great, because Robinhood chain is a very, very great chain for just real simple to use. The normies, the kids use it. Really good app for trading. So I don't know how I don't believe you can trade these on their app yet, but I assume at some point that will come in. Maybe not, but I would assume. So anyway, keep an eye on Robinhood. Maybe take an eye at the value of the stock. We'll see. But right now, those are the two things that kind of stopped all our momentum. We'll see if we can get it back or not. There's not a whole bunch else. We'll talk about a few things, but we're just going to have to wait and see what's going on. Fear and greed. I think yesterday we were 26, 27. I can't remember, but we were finally out of extreme fear, but now we're back in it. Quantum dropping a little alpha on us here. Did you know that Crash Cat was the working title code name for Robinhood when they started? No, I didn't know that. So cool. That's a new meta. I don't know how hard it is to get over there and trade. Assume you have to bridge some tokens or something, but very smart on Robinhood's to get the Degens over there, because if you feel like there's an opportunity to make money, people go over there. Still, that's why I think Solana does so good, because so many people have Solana. I think I reported yesterday 67% of all blockchain transactions happen on Solana, but they're not without their competition. And I think Robinhood's going to be solid competition. More centralized, of course, but still nonetheless cool. So have to, like I said, I haven't played. I mentioned the first I heard of meme coins being over there was yesterday with the success of this Crash Cat. So we all remember when Base Chain kind of did the same thing. And then it was, what was it? It was one of the boys club. We got Pepe, we got Landwolf, we got Andy, and what's the other one that's on base? That's cool. So early investors wrote checks to Crash Cat when they seeded the company. That's some cool history. What was the one on the base? Gosh, I can see it now. The blue, that's driving me crazy. The blue frog looking thing. One of the four boys club. But anyway, it became huge, and that was a supply control deal. Cannot believe that's not Andy. Brett, thank you. Quantum, man. See, got the real smart ones here. Quantum dropping all. Yeah, Brett went up to billions, few $1 billion. So he's the one that kind of started this supply control meta too. Everyone, he's going to dump. He dump, never did. Brett. So a lot of people are saying they're getting early Brett chain, because the other ones were all on ETH, right? Pepe was on ETH. Andy hit about $500 million. Pepe hit 12 billion. Land Wolf, which I was huge in. Brett's blue and Andy's yellow. And then, of course, Land Wolf's kind of Teen Wolf looking guy. And, of course, we all know Pepe the Frog. But, yeah, a little history there. But, Brett, that's what it was. So anyway, we'll see how the vamp attack goes. There's not really a vamp attack. It's just smart business. But we'll see how much it takes and how much we can pop. I think the war is about 95% of it and about 5% of it people running over there to trade meme coins. But we'll look through a little of the news and check back. Bitcoin and XRP are becoming corporate treasury assets. SBI VC Trade says Japanese firms are adding Bitcoin and XRP to their balance sheet as the yen continues to lose purchasing power. So, people are using them over there in Japan. Bitcoin, of course, a lot of companies doing that, but now they're even doing XRP. So I imagine it's super popular over there as it is here. Also, the FOMC meeting out today at 2:00. This will be the first minutes released under Fed Chairman Powell. Expect volatility across Bitcoin gold as the markets look for clues where we could be headed next. So came out as real hawkish, but it's starting to become, if you look at the poly market odds, the chances of a rate cut are starting to increase, and the chances of the, one person called, Bank of America or somebody called for 3 rate hikes this year. That seems to be turning around, but we'll see. Kind of a bummer day, man. Back one step forward, 2 step back, President Xi Jinping said China will make AI and chip sectors their top priority. That arms race has already begun, and I believe we're going to see it over in the Bitcoin blockchain as well once we kick it off. I didn't save the news article, but I saw Russia's jumping the gun on us and getting kind of a clarity act of their own. That's progressing. And we know if we don't get that passed, other countries are going to pounce on the opportunity. America is going to lose out. So it's the 8th today. It's supposed to come up on the 13th. So I don't know if that's Friday or next week or whatever, but maybe this week. 8 Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. No, sorry. See, that shows me. Yeah, probably Monday because it's Wednesday day. See, I thought it was Monday. So that's where my head's at. Standard Nuclear, with this power, looking at a lot of stuff. This is Standard Nuclear, which I don't know much about, but, the power boom lifts their IPO. They're now targeting a $3.55 billion valuation. And I think things like this, where we need to look for opportunity, if you're going to invest in IPOs and stuff, is in the energy side, copper. Hoff said that years ago. Keep an eye on nuclear, keep an eye on power. So we'll see what happens. But quantum, like I say, 10,000 mile death march, man. It feels like that. That's it. Yesterday went from pure euphoria with the TBB. Now, a little bit of a bounce. Sorry, these charts don't work very good on Deck Screener. I think it's more optimized for phones, but for mobile. But anyway, a little bit of a bounce off the bottom there, but see if Ansem 3.6 million. Ansem 2.8, slight bounce here. And EU, the ESMA is launching a dedicated review process for crypto custody providers. So they're going to go and try and exert their power over now the custody providers and stuff. So that's another more control, man. Everything they do, they want more control. Look at Yahoo, see if we're doing any better. Market been open now almost half an hour. NASDAQ down 0.42. Well, let's let it refresh here. See if that changed at all. 0.42 negative for the 9% for the Dow. 0.5. Oil prices jump as Trump says Iran deal's over. Oil 73.49 up 4.29%. So about the same. Yeah, it's one of those days we just got to get out and touch some grass. We say it all too often. Let's look at Bitcoin on the mostly red across the board. This could be that final flush everyone keeps talking about. Bitcoin to 50,000. I don't know. We're still close to that 200-week moving average. We'll see. But 61, 661. That's the daily chart. Let's look at the hourly chart. Yeah, so we had this big drop, and then we come off it a little bit, but not much. So, yeah, another day in the life. I know a lot of us were riding the wave high yesterday. My grid bots I was able to reset some of my grid bots, so put them in a wider range. So I'm buying the dip here on my on some of these. I instead of so I'll make a little money as we dip down and come back up. But mainly I'm bummed because of the we kind of stopped our momentum on the TBB and some of these others. But anyway, it is what it is. Opportunity to buy the dip. Holding weight if you believe in the token. It's harder when they're newer, more volatile token. We'll see if the Ansem people ban and ship, or if it's a good opportunity to buy. I did buy the dip a couple times on Ansem yesterday. We'll see how strong that is. That can get back up. I was loving Ansem rocking because I knew that would help pull up the rest of the market. So we'll see what happens here. Also shout out to Robinhood. Those guys are good guys in the market as well. And the Cash Cat. So hopefully we'll see how much that meta plays out. But listen, that's it. No great news. Feel free to join us over on the GM Bitcoin Morning Show. We'll talk more, talk a little World Cup as well. Of course, Egypt almost pulled off a miracle win. They led the 2-1. I guess one of their goals got called back, a little controversial, but in less than 10 minutes, Argentina scored 3 goals to move on. And I don't know what the other game was yesterday. I can't remember. I watched that game. Oh, I think Switzerland and Colombia, and I think it came down to penalty kicks. But anyway, okay, guys, yeah, feel free to join. We'll be back tomorrow, see where the dust settles, and come over and join me on the GM Bitcoin Show. We'll talk over there. But thanks for joining me live. Maybe a day to get away from the markets, go on a hike, go see a movie. I don't know. There's no good movies anymore. Go touch some grass, man. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for joining me.